when you were training clients back in the day, did you have transformation type people that wanted to lose a bunch of weight, or was it, I just want to get a little bit more fit, I want to add muscle? Like, what was maybe the hardest client that you had to help?
So we did everything from sports performance with athletes to just general lifestyle, want to stay in shape, busy corporate, people in medicine stuff that a big part of the MTS, the business is just like, we always say, we'll take the thinking out of it. If you just show up, we'll make sure you get a good workout in, right? Just show up, we'll make sure you get a good, we did meal plans and stuff. But the hardest client I think any trainer has, or can be the hardest client anyone has, is a weight loss client. Because you usually didn't get overweight overnight. This is something that takes years or an entire lifetime of getting overweight. So you have these very ingrained, difficult habits to break. You can't not eat, right? You're gonna have to change the food you eat. It's not like you're gonna quit smoking, you just go cold turkey, So that's the hardest person, because there's always your body always wants to fight and have that homeostasis, right? So weight loss isn't getting, hey, congrats, you lost 20 pounds this month. Well, you lost the weight temporarily. If you revert back to, okay, now I lost it, and you go back. So the long-term commitment is very hard for people. It's hard for me. It's hard for anybody, until it becomes like, this is who I am. This is who I now believe I am. And weight loss is always the hardest. And you see, this is endemic. And kind of the odds are stacked against you, for wanting to lose weight, because there's such convenient foods, and they're all highly palatable, very processed, and all that's true. But also, there's a way to do it. And it's kind of, if you fall down, you got to keep going. You got to keep trying. You got to promise yourself you're going to get off. So it can be done. But certainly weight loss for me sticks out as like, man, I've had clients that have lost over 100 pounds. I've had several clients that have lost over 100 pounds. And unfortunately, I've seen some of those people since, and they've gained it all plus some back too. You like, as a trainer, you feel that one, like, did I fail them? Did I, what could I have done differently?
Yeah, for sure.
You feel sad because you personally witnessed all the sweat, all the hard work, what they put into it, and they have the tools now in their mind to do it, but they didn't have the willpower to stick to it. And that's a sad thing to see someone give up on themselves.
How much of that, well, you got to think a lot of it has to do with habits, because I do think it's one thing to have somebody you're accountable to, like the trainer, the nutritionist, but if you're not teaching them good habits, they're destined to fail if they leave you. If you see those people again, it's like, what habits did they learn? Did they get lazy and just quit doing it? Was it a lack of willpower, discipline? It's tough because there's a lot of psychological stuff going on. You can only do so much for a person. I remember clients doing nutrition plans for them, and man, we'd be sitting down for just check-ins, like an hour at a time, and they'd be crying.
Yeah,
because they'd be having
tears,
such issues. They were struggling with this, or they felt like a failure because they didn't do this. But looking back now, I wish I would have had a better understanding of this, of diving into their day, understanding what are their triggers that get them to fall off. Did they have an argument with a coworker, a spouse, or whatever it is, and then you get in that mood, and you're like, fuck it, I'm gonna go.
Food's your drug, and you go to it.
Yeah. So it's very psychological in helping those people out, but not everybody does that, and it's hard to get them to realize that. So again, it kind of comes back to that self-reflection, but you can help people self-reflect in that regard too.
Yeah, it's tough. It's easy to say, we'll find a new drug, if
Ozempic.
Yeah, I was thinking like workouts, and hey, you go for a walk outside, and inevitably you feel better, instead of going through a drive-through. But I should be very fair and honest. Like that's never been my drug or my comfort is food. So when you talk about the mental aspect and stuff, I understand it's and I had a very good education, like growing up. My dad owned a gym. He was into bodybuilding. He's into fitness. So while I don't fully, I haven't been in the situation where it's been a huge struggle. I've had other vices, I've had other demons in my life that have struggled with, but food and weight loss hasn't been one of them. so it's kind of easier said than done, and I at least I understand that much.
Yeah.
But it is making it to where that's not you need another coping mechanism, whatever that is. If it's meditation, if it's going for a walk, if it's something to where it doesn't become this spiral where you give up on yourself, you go back to the eating, you go back and then you look in the mirror, you hate yourself, you don't like that you give, and that's the comfort. And I think that's a huge spiral that's as a coach, as a trainer, man, if you have a client in that situation, it's a really difficult thing. You said it's not just telling them what to eat and how to work out physically, but helping them change their mind and their belief of who they are to get better.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, I've gone through phases where, I'm a classic binge eater. I can put away a ton of food. I love, Doritos, chips, whatever it is, fast food. I could eat all that stuff, but you get to the point where you look at yourself in the mirror and you're like, I don't look like, I feel horrible. Everything sucks. I hate working out. It makes working out harder. So there is that psychological aspect, from the last few years when I kind of let myself go. Like, I started to understand that more, and I'm like, man, why didn't I understand this when I was doing nutrition plans for people? Because I realized then my lifestyle was just set up where I went to work, I went to the store, we had a Hy-Vee right behind us, or a Target, go get a chicken over there. You could just eat healthy. Your lifestyle was set up, and whatever money I did have went to either food and my gym membership. So I wasn't really learning anything. I wasn't developing any good habits, just because my lifestyle set up kind of this ability to do the right thing. And then when I got out of that, I had the free will of eating whatever I wanted, or sitting home, or having a bad day and not wanting to do, I'm a reformed CrossFitter is what I call myself, and not being able to keep up with the recovery to keep doing CrossFit was really hard for me. So then when I started letting myself go, eating bad, binge eating, drinking a lot more at night, man, doing CrossFit the next day, I was getting hurt way more, and then you just hated it. I had this whole mental slips. Yeah. So I can relate to people on that aspect. So there's always times where I'm thinking like, man, I wish I could almost go back and do nutrition plans again, because I think I could help a lot more people, because I can put myself in their shoes.